Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. So this is the Aplomb, I guess you would call it. It's a weird name. It's in the title of the video what it is. It's Aplomb. Anyways, this is a multi-port hub actually. It has 3 USB 3 ports. It has a micro SD and regular SD port. HDMI, of course, and it does have a Type-C port, but the Type-C port that's on it is a power delivery port. It's supplying power. It will not work with a Type-C stick. This is a USB 3 and combination Type-C stick. And I'd first plugged it in there. Of course, I didn't read the instructions. I should have. And nothing was working. I'm like, what? I got a bad port. So I actually read the manual. It does pay to read your manuals. So it actually delivers power. So if you have like a USB-C to Lightning adapter or USB-C to USB-C adapter and you want to charge, say, your phone, you'd be able to charge your phone off this thing. Okay? Which is actually quite cool. Anyways, they give a list here of the amperages available on the ports, etc. So what you can get away with. You can hook up to a 4K HDMI display up to this thing. Well, my display is nowhere near 4K, so we're okay. We're not drawing that much power. The cable length on it is actually 5.91 inches. I would personally rather it be at least 1 to 2 feet long. I know some people think, well, that's kind of a little overkill, Kevy. Well, actually, no, not really, because as you can see, it doesn't allow me to really move my laptop around much because it's a short cable, which has a good point on one side. It's definitely going to keep things on the desk, but I don't want them on the desk. I want everything hanging over the edge where it belongs in my books. I suppose I could use a USB-C adapter lengthening cable, but then you're dealing with different gauges of wires in adapter cables when you're lengthening them, like extensions. And that's different amperages, different way the voltages work through the wires, so they won't be exactly precisely the same gauge usually. It's actually very rare that ever happens. And I don't want to disrupt that or cause any problems. Now, the unit does warm up, okay? Especially when you've got it under a heavier load. It's definitely going to warm up. The load that it's under right now is not that bad. And it's not, I wouldn't call this hot, but I wouldn't call it lukewarmish. It's kind of a hairball above lukewarm, but it's not hot. It's not going to burn you. And I know I've read some online reviews. This same unit is actually made by a multitude of different Chinese sellers, okay, and you can buy this thing at like Best Buy and Amazon and other places around the globe of the wonderful internet we have, and it'll be under different names, and you'll find the exact same name, and you'll find different prices, so do shop around for the best price. This unit was originally sent to my wife for a review. At the time we had brand new laptops with Type-C ports, and this thing would not work under that current version of Windows 10 at the time. Now with the most current, largest update of Windows 10, this thing actually works great on our laptops. So she had to do the testing on my father's new MacBook that he got at the time that had a Type-C port on it, and it works great. And I thought I'd do my own review on it. On my Mac laptop, I have a MacBook Air. A lot of you'll know that if you've been on the channel recently. I actually picked up a new computer, and I love it. It's cool, and it's gold. Anyways, so I've put this thing under some strain. I've thrown in a micro SD card, an SD card. I've thrown in the stuff that's already plugged into it now, plus my stick, because my SanDisk is actually, this is dual ported. This is USB 3 and the USB-C. And of course, I can't use the USB-C part of this on this hub, which is actually kind of disappointing. I was hoping that C on there would have been for data transfer stuff, but it's actually not. It's just a power supply port. So that's disappointing because I only have 2 ports on my my laptop, and one of them is actually my power supply, So if I was running off battery, I'd be fine. I could plug in the Type-C part of that stick and no big deal. But generally, even with a laptop in my house, I always have it plugged into power all the time because I like to keep the battery at 100%. So this way, when I do go out with it, I know that I've got a fully charged battery and I'm good for the whole day. Especially considering it's a MacBook Air, the battery will last up to 12 hours with power saving modes engaged. Or in my case, pretty close to about 8 hours with no power savings turned on because I hate power savings. Anyways, so in my opinion, I think that the cheapest price is always the best price that you can get it for, so it's worth it. If you have to pay a couple of bucks more, I think it's still going to be worth it, as long as the price difference is not too much of a jump. Because I realize that some people, they want to order something, it's like, oh, they don't ship to my country, or some stupid excuse, right, that we get. And you know, so if you can find one and it's going to cost you, say maybe $5 to $8 more to get it, then I would definitely recommend it. It's a great little adapter. Works perfectly well. You guys can, well, you've seen my Mac recently, and that's my new 22-inch display, sorry, sitting on my my MacBook Air, and I can actually lift my screen up so you can see dual, so you know that's exactly what we got going on. Okay, so there we go. Same picture on each. That's what it is. So, anyways, and it does cycle like this to flip it. But yeah, it is definitely a worthwhile adapter in my opinion. So do grab yourselves one. This is the Aplomb or Aplomb or Plume, or I don't know how you even pronounce it. I don't really care how you pronounce it. But check them out. You can find these adapters even under different names. You'll find the exact same adapter, different names. I've seen them at Best Buy, Amazon, many other places. So do shop around, definitely for the best price, and they are worthwhile. And you don't need to have a powered hub on USB-C, it seems, because I have loaded this thing up and everything ran like no problems, and no slowdowns. Everything was doing its job, and it's like, this is pretty cool. I like this, you know. So it definitely, the USB-C system is a good system to go to because it does supply a lot of amperage and power to power all your devices that you've got going on. So that's awesome. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below about this adapter. I think it's great, but I do think it needs a longer cable on it. But as it sits, I would put this thing at a solid 4 out of 5. If it had at least a 1 to 2 foot cable on it, I would give it a 4.5. But it doesn't, so hey, 4 out of 5 is what you get out of me on this one. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Do check out other videos on my channel. We have more stuff coming as well in the next while. And yeah, catch you on the next one.